The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-minute warning.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of the 5-minute warning. Excuse me, 5-minute warning, not just 5-minute warning. This is your man, Ruben Brown in the house. And of course, on the ones and twos always is my boy AG.
What's happening, y'all? How you doing?
Good. Moby will be with us shortly. And guess what, AG?
What's up?
You know what today is?
Grievances.
Festivus for the best of us.
I thought it was the rest of us.
Look, man, I ain't trying to get sued by nobody.
Oh,
So
my
it's the
bad.
best of us. You know, Dre, I'm just here for a 70-minute intro. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Hey, when Moby gets on, you never know. Just saying.
Nah, we got plans today. We got plans.
We had plans last week.
Yeah, but that's different.
How's it different?
Because these are a little bit more important plans.
Oh my goodness. No, they're not.
We got shit to talk about today. But hey, I mean, once again, Festivus for the best of us. Why?
Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, the idea that you even say Festivus will get you sued.
I mean, possibly, but that's why I don't write it down anywhere. I mean, I could say what I want. I could say chocolate cheeseburger Oreos, but I'm not getting sued for saying Oreos. But if I write it down.
So that means I can say McRib, right?
I mean, it's nasty as hell, but yeah, you can say it. I mean.
Yeah, I did that for your benefit, right?
I appreciate that. I mean.
I do it again.
I mean, hey, man. Everybody knows you say certain things, you get certain answers.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, because the McRib is nasty as hell.
You're right. I like saying it on the show, though.
Oh, man. I'll have to deal with that.
Oh, my wife chimed in. Festivus isn't until the 23rd. Yes, she is reprimanding you.
Yeah, but we're not going to be here on the 23rd. So
it doesn't matter. She's still reprimanding.
And yeah.
If there's a woman in the room, you don't have anything.
First of all,
nothing belongs to you.
It's not my woman.
It doesn't matter. I'm on the show, so nothing belongs to you.
Hey, guess what? We're still doing Festivus today, y'all. I don't give two poops in a pot. We're doing it today.
In a pot?
Hey, in a pot.
You don't want to dig a hole?
You know, from someone who not grew up, but, you know, at my big mama's house, she had an outside toilet, which meant they dug a big hole and you sat on some cold wood and you took a shit. If you had to take a shit, I mean, been there, done that, man. That shit ain't cool. Literally.
Could you imagine eating something? Could you imagine eating something bad and then having diarrhea all night?
Bro, I mean,
with an outhouse?
There have been times, man. It's dark as hell out there, and you got to go to the portable toilet by yourself because your brother won't go with you because you scared to death. Hey,
I mean, why you scared? Because it's dark.
Man, it's in the middle of nowhere. What do you mean? Why I'm scared? And I'm under the age of I can whoop somebody's ass. So yeah, I'm scared to death. Speaking of which, got a good story for you. Actually, it's a fucking horrible story, but you'll think shit's funny.
Okay.
So I'm driving from the family event, right?
Sure.
And on the back roads, you know, and stuff, and it's dark out there. Of course it's dark out there. Right before I got to the prison, the old prison.
Oh, yeah, I know where you are. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe about a mile away from the old prison, going toward 58. I'm driving. I'm moving. I mean, I'm like 60 something.
Yeah, it's fun.
Exactly. Boom. The fuck? bro. I don't know what animal it was, but I saw it out my peripheral. It was huge, and it hit my car.
Did it do damage?
So I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So there's a truck behind me, like far back. So yeah, we'll talk about that food in a second. So it's behind me, right? So I stopped, because I'm kind of curious what hit me, and the truck ran past me. I backed up. I ain't see nothing on the road.
See blood?
I ain't see nothing.
Okay.
And it is like 6:30. Look, man, every horror story that the black man dies first went through my head. Do you think I got out the car?
No.
Hell no. So I backed up. I didn't see anything. Kept going. I drug whatever it was, probably a good 2 miles.
Oh, so it was under your car?
Oh, yeah. So I drug it, and then I heard, boop. Oh, must have fell off. But it didn't fall off all the way. Apparently, it grabbed something going to the back. I hear something dragging, and I heard this sound. I didn't know what it was. So I'm driving because I'm near a prison that has some people in it.
Has some people in it?
Yeah. I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, I know where it is, but by the time somebody get to me, cancel Christmas. And then, yeah, I wasn't about to stop that car for nothing. I wasn't driving really fast because I could tell I was holding something. So I got the 58 cross that. My brakes ain't acting right. What's going on with brakes? So then I heard a toot. So apparently, there's a car right behind me, too. Well, the car behind me got a present. I guess it fell off. I still
Did you see what it was?
Hell no, I didn't see what it was. Do you think I was gonna stop see what the hell they are?
I figured you ain't looking inside you with a rearview mirror.
Bro, you know what could have happened? It could have still been alive. Now I ain't got time for that.
No, it wasn't alive.
I mean, we hope.
You drug it 2 miles, then something got hooked in the back, then something got hooked in your brakes.
Man,
I promise you it was dead.
Once again, have you seen Pet Sematary? All right, then. So you already know. So, of course, I finally get to a 7-Eleven. Well, let me see what's going on. And, of course, I found the only 7-Eleven that got, like, full lights. But I need to see. So, hit the driver's side front side of the bumper.
Okay.
So, that's broken. Had a little broke on the back. The fog light, because I have 2 fog lights on my car.
Mm-hmm.
One of them joints gone. The driver's side fog light, like the whole housing is gone.
You hit it hard.
Well, it hit me hard because I was driving. It ran to me. I didn't swerve into it. So, Skinwalker. Jesus. So then, I looked on the rear. Okay, I know it was dark out there, but I could see some like feathers and whatnot. I was like, okay. Once again, I think it was feathers. Not really sure. I hit something. All right. I saw some blood. It looked kind of black. Last time I checked, when blood oxidizes, it's red. Why is there black blood? You know what? I'm not going to investigate that. It's time for me to go. So I drove down. My brakes ain't acting right. So I called one boys up. He was a mechanic. Kind of walk me through whatever. He's like, well, we stopped. I stopped at a Royal Farms because it had lights upon lights upon lights. Because if it was still there, I still wanted nothing to do with it. But look at the tie. I shot my camera. We video chatted. And he was like, "Well, your brake line looks good." Yo, man, we looked at the brake fluid, bro. If you could be a negative brake fluid, it's possible. I think I was there. I had no damn brake fluid, so I went and bought some brake fluid from Royal Farms. He was like, "Yo, you push it a couple times. If it tightens up, you good." It tightened up before you start the car. It tightened up good. Yay! No problem getting the car started riding. Brakes still don't feel right, man. So I drove all the way home. Brakes still don't feel right. So hopefully in the daytime, I'm gonna check and see what the fluid looks like. If the fluid looks good, then it's all in my head, and I just got to deal with it. I got to deal with that because I won't thinking about no brakes until I hit something. But yeah, man.
You
I
got
don't know.
something waiting on you, buddy.
Huh?
You got something waiting on you.
What do you mean?
It's gonna you're gonna look down there and something gonna pop out. It's gonna come to you. Pet Cemetery, bro. Like you said.
That's what I'm doing in the daytime, man. I ain't playing with that bullshit.
Doesn't matter. Pet Cemetery, they had some scenes in the daytime.
Well, see, I didn't watch the whole movie because I was scared to death. So, because everybody knows that Ruben don't do scary movies.
No, he does not.
By no means.
By the way, Thinner was really good, Moco Cowboy.
Thinner? Yeah, I ain't watching that shit.
Oh, it was really good, bro.
I mean, I could barely watch Chucky on USA, bro.
How can you not watch a doll?
Because he be killing people like left and right. And that
I realize that, but it's a doll.
And it comes on at 10 o'clock, so they're almost as
really
grody as it can get.
Really,
man. Except they got the fake blood. I mean, they did. The one part I accidentally saw because it was an accident. I turned to it and I saw Chucky with a what are those things called? A chainsaw, man. Sawing some woman in half, like from the top down. Yeah, I can't see that shit, man.
Have you seen The Exorcist?
Like once in life.
The whole thing?
Once in life. I will see certain things once. Like for instance, Insidious, bro. I saw that. But you know what the reason why I saw that shit? It had something to do with a young lady, and I wish I hadn't seen that shit. Because Insidious was
the things
bad.
we do for women.
Bro.
You broke a cardinal rule for a woman.
What?
Watching horror movie. You tell us all the time what you're not gonna watch, and you ended up watching Insidious.
The second one? Man, I don't know which one it was. All I know was scared. I was scared to death. I had like nightmares for 2 days.
For how long?
For like 2 days, man.
Did you try to call up your parents and see if you could sleep with them?
Hell no. What? No. Luckily at the time I was sleeping with her, so it was a little better.
Was it really? Man, she's the one that got you into all this.
I mean, but I wasn't in the bed by myself.
Okay.
So
understood.
But I do hate when I hate when I have dreams that I remember. Because they're never cool shit. Like
no, never. There's always some scary stuff. Some
hold some girl's hand and you're frolicking through the nah, man. It's always almost about to die. You fell out of a plane, you're almost about to die, and you wake up and you realize you're in a bed and you sweat like crazy, and it's like 65 degrees in your apartment, and you're just like, oh, this that bullshit. Yeah.
Is that what it is? You had to look around and say that?
Yeah, man. That's that bullshit, man. But yeah, so yeah, the family thing was awesome. It's cool to see a family. I mean, but yeah, bro,
was Pam there?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
Now Karen came down there. Karen was there. Of course, all the family said hi and all that beautiful stuff. But yeah, it's the one, the only, the legend, Mo B in the house.
What's up, Mo B? Yo, man, I want to let you know I was gathering fodder for the best of. By the way, y'all, best of is coming out. When is it coming out?
Mo B, you good?
Doesn't sound that way.
Mo B.
I think he's getting stuff together.
All right, we're
going. Tish Adams, what's up?
We gonna let him get his shit together.
But anyway, the weekend before Christmas, the first best of is coming out, y'all. So check it out. Please check it out.
Oh,
I was gathering fodder for the best of show.
Fodder?
Yes,
that's what we're calling it?
Yes, that's what we're calling it. Because what I heard.
Yeah, he said fodder.
I sure did.
What's up, Mo?
Who said fodder?
And the reason I picked that word, there's a reason why. And I had to do laundry. I was doing the laundry and I was weak. You hear me? I was weak because this was the show where Texas decided to pass a law or enforce a law that you couldn't have more than 6 dildos. And this dude over here
Jesus Christ.
was hilarious, bro. I was in the laundromat crying.
Hey,
Those
man,
people thought I was crazy.
More than 6 is too much, man.
Clearly.
We've got a line, and the line is 6.
And then it got even funnier when I ran across the part where you were talking about the laws of underage marriage were going to shift in North Carolina. And this dude was trying to protect his daughters and just everything else. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
So make sure you listen to the show if you know.
Do you remember what episodes they came from? Any idea?
The ones I just said were I want to say 93 and 94 respectively.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. But man, you talking about somebody crying.
Oh my God.
Because he was like, my daughters were just in North Carolina, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, Moby was about to go hurt somebody.
And then he took me back. Moby took me back with this one because he was talking about and I can actually taste his own food because he was talking about when they go on long road trips. His grandma to cook the fried chicken.
Yeah, bro.
And the loaf of bread is a bottle of water.
And the loaf of bread.
Yo.
None
hilarious.
Like it. None like
hilarious.
it.
So y'all listen, it'll probably be much more than an hour because some of these
kids don't know nothing about that.
But it's gonna be funny, so y'all check it out.
What's going on, Black Morticia Adams? You got Moko Cowboy in the house. Everybody's in the house. Mo B, man, what's going on?
Nothing about it.
Because your kid, that's right. You said your kid is bougie.
Yeah, you know,
says the person who provides all of this.
Just living like, they don't know nothing about that. Hey, man, I didn't. That's why I know they bougie because I'm the one providing. Hey, look, man, we'll talk about that later, man. I'm trying to get you over here.
So, all right, man, you told me. So, talk to us about Saturday, man, the championship game.
Didn't you send out an agenda to look at?
I did, but that's part of the intro. So, we've been talking about this for the last month.
I mean,
we got to know what happened.
Look, man. I mean, not really. You don't need to know what happened. I don't think the people really care about Chesterfield Junior League football. Like,
we invested, baby. What's up?
I mean, so to answer your question, no, they did not win. They lost.
How bad?
They lost 14-0. Well, really, it was 8-0. They scored a touchdown at the end.
What happened?
But I mean, a lot of things happened. But overall, we played a championship team, and we were a ragtag group of kids that just came together.
So this dude was joking on my father, but he said ragtag.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm trying to keep with the theme. Trying to keep with the theme.
I mean,
this team, like, I still think physically we were better than them, but I mean, this group has been playing together for like, I think 3 years, and they've only lost one game together in 3 years.
So they're playing a bunch of 14-year-olds and 11.
No. This team won the championship when they were minors, and then half of their team went up to juniors. So they lost in the semifinals last year. So then the rest of their minor league team came up this year, and they went undefeated. So I mean, this quarterback got two championships in 3 years, and like, you can tell the difference between a group of kids that's been together for a while and we're ready for. But I mean, physically, we're still better than them. Like, and to be honest, I feel like the moment just got too big for some of the players and the coaches. I mean, this is the first year that this group, this program has been to the championships, I think 1998.
Oh God!
Wow.
So we ain't been there in a long time. And I mean,
y'all lost basically 8-0. That's
I mean, look, and a lot of things went wrong in the game that made that happen. But I think the moment was too. Nah, man, it's no blame to go around. I mean, the other team was good, and we had some uncharacteristic things happen, and I think the moment got too big for some of the coaches and some of the players. I mean, I think if we played them today, right now, I think we blow them out. Okay. But I mean, nerves and people.
Were the kids nervous?
Yeah, I mean, everybody was nervous. Coaches were super nervous. Like you could tell. Look, man, when you're in a program that's been losing for that long, and I'm new to the program, so I'm not as invested as everybody else. So to me, it's like, hey, this is the first year I've been here. I don't know about their struggle. I won't with them shooting in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But these dudes been, a mediocre to bad program for years. So, they wanted this super bad.
So I mean, were you the difference? You and Cade is the difference for bringing them from
Nah,
rags?
man. It was a perfect storm of like a lot of kids we had kids from other programs come. It was just a perfect storm of talent and stuff. Nah, I'm definitely never gonna give myself that much credit. And yeah, Cadence is good, but I'm not gonna say that she is the reason. Like we just had a whole bunch of things line up well one year. And honestly, I think we're gonna have the same thing that happened to that program where half our team is gonna go up to seniors next year and the other half's gonna be on juniors. So, it might be a gap year for both. And then next year or the year after, I think if everybody stays together on the seniors, I mean, it might be us two again in the championship.
So is Cadence moving up, or she got one more year?
I mean, she got one more year.
So
I mean, I think some of the senior coaches want her to go up.
Well, yeah, because she could probably do some work. But
I mean, look, honestly, if she went up to seniors, she would be a serviceable player. I mean, the problem is if she stays in juniors next year, like she could probably dominate, but we don't know how much better that's going to make her. And honestly, if she wants to keep playing football, which she does, I think part of me is just like she needs to start playing with people who are probably physically stronger than her and stuff now. So she not only get used to it, so she can realize that she better get some technique down because she ain't gonna be bigger and stronger than everybody forever.
I hear that.
Like
I hear that.
Them male hormone genes will kick in eventually for the rest of the guys. And she will not be the biggest person on the field.
I mean, so do you work with her on like blocking and stuff like that? And
I mean, look,
I'm just asking.
Yes and no. I mean, yes and no. I mean, of course, that's the position I coach, but I mean
she's also 10, so
yeah. I mean, no, I mean we work with her, but I mean, it's sometimes hard for me to coach her, not because it's hard for me, but I mean, I realized that as a kid, she don't necessarily want to be coached by me all the time. That's why it might be a good thing if she leaves too, so she can get coached by somebody else.
So I guess the next question is, if she goes up to seniors, are you going with or you're done?
Hey man, it is too soon for me to commit to anything. I don't want to come out here sounding like Coach Prime and talk about how I'm ordained to help the HBCU and restore glory to the black culture, only to leave. So I ain't gonna commit to nothing because I don't want to be that guy.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, since you brought it up, let's go into some real talk. So let's talk about Deion Sanders and how he has destroyed the HBCU community.
How did he do that?
Well, hold on. Before we get into that, remember this is Festivus, and AG, man, what were you destroying? A bowl of cereal?
Oh man, yes.
Cool. Moby, you eating anything?
No.
Oh, you're a terrible guy.
I literally just walked in the house like 10 minutes ago, man.
Moby was like, no.
Yeah.
I just walked in the house 10 minutes ago, man.
I mean,
you got leftovers. You got real food.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's Festivus for the best of us.
I mean, look, and nothing for the rest of us.
I mean, that's a personal choice, sir. That's a personal choice. Hey, man, I mean, you could go get a McRib or something, that nasty ass shit. But
no,
I mean, just making sure. So yeah, if you ask the right people or the wrong people, depending on how you feel, Deion Sanders had destroyed the HBCU community because he has left them because he promised he would stay and he would change HBCU football.
When did he do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He never promised he'd stay.
Exactly. But depending on who you talk to, that's what
he always said he would entertain. He'd be stupid if he didn't entertain other jobs.
And plus, he's a coach because that's what happens when you go from one coach. Hey, I'm at this level. When you succeed here, you move up. that's just the natural order of things, And I've heard it, man. I've heard it from everybody. It's like there's some people like you listen to the players. Oh yeah, we understand Coach Prime. I mean, this is not something new to us, and blah blah blah. They're riding for him 100%. And then you listen to a lot of people in the HBCU community is like, oh,
you mean the people that don't want to give any money to any of the programs? Those people?
Of course, those people.
Okay.
And then it's like, he destroyed everything and blah blah blah. He turned his back on us. And then, of course, you listen to the pundits, the respectable people. Man alive, I did this to myself, and I shouldn't have. And I apologize to everybody else for doing this to myself. But is that your mom?
Yep.
That's funny. I mean, she know you on the show at 9, right?
I mean, I just left her like 20 minutes ago. She just left my house like 20 minutes ago.
Here we go. Can we get 70 minutes out of you?
Nah. So here's the thing, right? So I listened to The Breakfast Club, and Dr. Umar Johnson.
Umar Johnson. Oh,
bruh.
Why'd you do that to yourself,
bruh? That guy.
Because I don't listen to Breakfast Club. So who's Umar Johnson?
Don't do it to yourself.
Hey man, so you know who KRS-One is, right?
Yes.
All right. In my opinion,
Nope. Your opinion is flawed. Don't compare those two people.
I'm not comparing those.
Don't do that, man.
Your opinion is flawed.
Don't do that, man. I'm not. Look, I ain't telling you wrong, but you wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold you, but
you gonna hold me. Yeah.
I never knew an opinion could be wrong.
So I'll say this, man. The man's got he's got an opinion, and I respect his opinion as far as I can toss him, but he's got an opinion, man. And, he's one of the people out here talking about how Deion, basically turned his back on the HBCU community. Like he was an HBCU god or something. And then on top of that, the man said he was SWAC, right? So people were just like, that's right. Deion Sanders is SWAC. No, he's not. Deion Sanders is where who's gonna pay him.
Hey man,
money.
Who ain't SWAC? If he ain't SWAC,
I mean, it ain't Southern because Southern got their ass whooped twice by Johnson, whatever. But here's the thing, man. Yo, I'm just over it, man. The man took a $5 million percent pay raise, man. Now, as me and Moby have talked about it, at first I was like, Colorado, bro. Like of all places. But then as I thought about it, hey man, sometimes you gotta make, shit in the sugar. And that's what he did at where he was. You know what? Colorado has sucked for years. The baseline is low. I mean, they already got the facilities. Real talk, all you gotta do is bring some players into Colorado. And Colorado can go.
Oh yeah, that's it. All you gotta do, bring players to Colorado. I mean, all you gotta do is bring a whole bunch of black and brown people to cold weather, and places completely out of the element. Yeah, no big deal, no big deal.
I mean, that's what's happening. So we'll find out because you're right. I mean, but the funny thing about it is, the guy is a marketer. He's marketed himself brilliantly because you got players leaving Alabama in a transfer portal trying to go play for him. Like you got 3 or 4 going to him.
Yeah, because they know whether the school's good or not, they're gonna have attention. Yep. And if your desire is to go to the next level, you need eyes.
Yep. And then of course, everybody's like, well, he left the college he left at. What about that? Hey man, he's bringing somebody quit Mississippi. The coach of Mississippi Valley State, who was in a SWAC, quit. And now he's going to work for Deion. He was a head coach going to work for Deion. Head coach of Kent State going to work for Deion as a coordinator. Bro, you were the head coach of a middling college team. But he knows at Colorado, he's going to get some. If they do all right,
they're gonna have eyes.
Exactly. The defensive coordinator from Alabama left to go play coach for Deion. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
I didn't know all this. Okay.
Bro.
Deion was in that Aflac commercial with Nick Saban. Was like, hey man, you better call Aflac and get some protection for your defensive coordinator. I hope he was insured.
So I mean, like, the thing about it is, attention wherever he goes, there's attention. And here's the thing, like, it's almost like some people feel like if you're an HBCU coach, that's where you should be forever. Why? You can't better yourself? I don't understand. We should applaud the fact that he left the HBCU school to go to a Power 5 school and pretty much say, hey everyone, this is how you do that. Now, everybody ain't him, but this is how you do it. Now, in the grand scheme of things, Colorado's going to be interesting because they sucked. And then he pretty much like, hey, if you don't want to work hard, you can go ahead and transfer portal. That's pretty much what he said. And I think that's fair, because, hey, if you're not working hard for Deion Sanders, why are you here? And some people are leaving to go to transfer portal. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting at the very least.
How much time are we trying to talk about this?
Well, I'm just trying. So, I mean, we're not going to talk about this too long, but I kind of want everybody's opinion on the whole Deion situation.
Then you don't want my opinion if we ain't going to talk long.
I mean, we can't. How long? Wait, like 30 minutes?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not a 30-second opinion I have about it.
That's fine.
It's very layered. So I'll let AG give his opinion.
Oh, mine's gonna be really short. The dude never promised anything. He did really well while he was there. He doesn't have any support from HBCU community. He doesn't have any support from the town itself. This is the same town that didn't have drinking water or water at all. And Deion is all about, I ain't gonna say Deion is all about Deion, but he lets you know exactly what his agenda is. So it shouldn't have been any surprise. I saw the dude 2 months ago on I think it was 60 Minutes, something like that. He said, I can't quote it, but this is pretty close. I'd be silly not to entertain, other jobs. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't know Colorado would come up, and I realized that Colorado isn't that good. But what I do know, because I used to live there, is it's still a brand. And so when I saw he took it at first, I was kind of like, Colorado, bro? But then I was like, not bad. Because essentially Colorado is a Jackson State of Division I, because they do stink. And they don't really have the facilities that you think that they have. But they do have a lot. They got enough to pay him $5 million, even though they had to scrape it together. So I'm like, is everybody, the people that are mad, I get that. The people that aren't, I get that too. But my biggest thing is the dude never promised you anything. And while he was there, he performed really well. So it's now your job to go out and find a coach that can fill that vacuum.
And also, wasn't this the last year of his contract anyway?
It wouldn't have mattered. The bottom line is people are mad because they wanted him to stay. They think that he owes somebody something when he never promised you anything. So, I mean, that's the long and short of it for me. I wasn't really following the story that much, but I do know that a dude that didn't have any real coaching experience, because his first job was a college coach, and he wins like 2 championships in 3 years he was there.
2 sweat. Yeah, 2 sweat.
That's not too bad. So for this guy to turn down a job because you want him to stay in an environment which, black folks ain't supporting, I don't know about that. And the reason I say that is because, everybody on the show knows I'm a big NASCAR fan. Black people complaining that there's no black drivers, but I'm saying to you that I don't see anybody out here, black people with money, trying to own a team either. You want black drivers? Buy a team.
Other than Daughtry.
True enough. So I'm like, you might want to get that together. Things ain't free. So anyway, that's my opinion of it. It's a short one because I don't know a lot about it, but that's what I see on the surface. So go ahead, Moby.
Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, Deion Sanders. And I put those 3 names together for a reason. we as black people have a problem with always constantly feeling the need to cape for black celebrities. Like, I don't understand both sides. I don't understand the people who are diehard he's destroyed the HBCU people, and I don't understand the people who are just like, yeah, Deion, way to go get your money, because like all of it seems weird to me. One, my problem with Deion Sanders taking the Colorado job has nothing to do with him taking the Colorado job. I listen to what people say, and I watch what they do. The one thing Deion Sanders throughout his lifetime has shown that Deion Sanders is going to do what's best for Deion Sanders. And that's just who he is. And if you want to say that's me being a hater or whatnot, no. Because, Ruben, your argument was like, yo, he's getting $5 million from Colorado. Why wouldn't he go? The first thing Deion Sanders said at the press conference, this ain't about chasing the bag. So why black people defended Deion Sanders' decision if the first thing he said was, this ain't about getting the bag? Second of all, when he took the job at Jackson State, he said the reason he wanted to take the job is because he wanted to give young black men a place where they could harness their talent in an environment that would appreciate them. He said he felt like God had ordained him to do that. So when you start off with that, and then 2 years later, you like, all right, I'd be stupid not to go fuck with these white people's money. I got a problem with that. Like, once again, I don't care that he went to Colorado. I just think it's really weird that people keep caping for him for doing it. Like, let's call it what it is, man. This was a selfish decision because Deion's long game has always been, I'm trying to get as far up in coaching as fast as possible. Because let's be honest, if his name wasn't Deion Sanders, he would never got the coaching job at Jackson because he had no coaching experience.
Other than
his own high school, his own charter high school where he cherry picked players from all over the place. I mean, he really had no experience, yet he became a head coach overnight. So once again, all Deion Sanders moves has been what's best for Deion Sanders. Now, I do have a problem with some of Deion Sanders' statements because sometimes I think Deion Sanders is a bit tone deaf, and it's easy to be tone deaf when you're too busy celebrating yourself like Deion Sanders does. Because don't nobody love Deion Sanders like Deion Sanders. Like, honestly, I believe if Deion Sanders gets to heaven, he'll be like, Jesus, don't nobody love me more than you except for me.
Wow. That's a lot.
But I mean, like, it's so I guess to put a pin on this, like, I don't care. But the tone deaf part of it, like, I heard people celebrating his little thing he did when he met the players at Colorado. And maybe because I'm a coach, I heard it so much different than, other people who were like, yeah, Deion Sanders going there and not playing. He telling them boys, you got to work harder, you got to go. But I didn't hear those statements. What I heard is he was telling people, y'all guys don't appreciate the opportunity you've been given. Everything about y'all has sucked because y'all don't appreciate the things y'all got. Y'all don't know how to work hard. You don't fucking know these dudes. You don't know what struggles these dudes come from. Yeah, you came in here being prime, saying, hey, I got all the answers because I'm the chosen one. And it's like, cool, I get it, Deion Sanders. Like, you're going to bring attention to them. And the one thing he did for HBCUs is he brought attention to them. And I feel like the people who are mad at him for leaving the HBCUs, they can go suck a dick. Because, I mean, he did more in like 3 years than anybody had done, since Eddie Robinson from Grambling, 30 years ago. Like, but at the same time, the fact that he didn't have a press conference thanking Jackson State doesn't sit well with me. I mean, as soon as his game was over, he didn't even interview. He didn't even give media attention. As soon as their game was over, he left, flew straight to Colorado. No, like none of that jibes. Like, I get it. To the team. Yeah, I get it. Like, Deion Sanders, like, you did a lot for the HBCUs, but like at the same time, they gave you an opportunity when they didn't have to. So I feel like as much as you did for them, they did stuff for you too. So the fact that you didn't go out your way to like thank them and show appreciation, I guess maybe he'll say, well, I told them the mission wasn't done. We still got another game to win, but that's not the same thing. So like my thing is like, I just don't get the whole we got to support a black guy and cape for him no matter what, because he's popular and he's a celebrity. Like, look, if you got an opinion about Deion, let it just be an opinion about Deion, not an opinion about Prime or Coach Prime. Like, Coach Prime is a guy. He's a really good marketer of self. And that's who he's always been. And all this noise he's talking about Colorado, if they were to go 10-2 next year and get to a New Year's Bowl, he gonna deuce on them motherfuckers too. That's just what he's gonna do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because he's in it for him. And when he, he has interviews like, it's about the kids, man. It's about the kids. I'm trying to give these young men an opportunity. It's like, no, you're not. I mean, maybe that's a side effect of what you're doing, but like, bro, that's not, because if that's really what you were trying to do, you would have stayed at Jackson State and been like, nah, my job ain't done here, because until HBCUs have even more support, because we can say, yeah, they didn't support them, but man, it's been 3 years, man. Like, no program turns around all the way in 3 years. Yeah, you might get some attention in 3 years, but like, he could have turned that place into like a North Dakota State, like into a place where it's like everybody respects it as a power school anyway. And it would have inadvertently lifted the HBCU. And all these people who say he did wonders for the HBCU, Bomani Jones made a great point this week when he was just like, all right, if he did so much for the HBCUs, name 2 players. You can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Other than his sons.
Yeah. I was like, you talking to us or you just talking?
So yeah, man. Like, I don't have an opinion about the Deion Sanders, man. He is who I thought he was. Like, he's one of my favorite players ever to watch. He's like the most flamboyant, arrogant person that I probably enjoy the hell out of talking and meeting. But I don't think I'd really want to rock with that guy, because I know at the end of the day, he about himself. And I do have a problem when people who are completely about themselves wrap themselves in the cloak of Jesus. Because the way he's wrapped himself in the cloak of Jesus and then self-promotes, it just doesn't seem like it jives. It doesn't seem like they coordinate.
I did not know Jesus had a cloak.
Yeah, I can't.
He's
say
not wrong about that part,
yeah.
though. That's irritating to me too. So he's not wrong.
I think it's funny that people were shocked that this happened.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that people were shocked too. Now,
yeah.
Now part of me was, I thought the same thing. I was like, Colorado, like, because me in my head, I was like, dog, if you just waited, you probably could have got a better job. But then again, I thought Colorado's the perfect place because the bar is so low that if they just do a little bit better,
he looked like the man. Game. He takes it to a bowl game next couple of years. He at Florida State in year 3.
Yo, if they mess around and be and it's perfect too. All the 2 best teams in the Pac-10 are about to deuce out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he might mess around and win.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's crazy.
It sounds like Deion Sanders being the best Deion Sanders can be.
I promise you that we're going to see a lot more Colorado, whether they win or lose. They're going to see a lot more Colorado on TV.
Hey, look, man.
You best believe that shit.
As much as I just came out here and was like, yo, man, that dude all about self. Man, the dude entertaining the shit, man. Like when anything he comes up on my feed, I gotta watch it. Cause I'm just amazed that somebody can be that arrogant, that conceited, that self-consumed, and get marked as such like a God-fearing, like, do everything for the people type guy. I'm just like, dog, you are a fucking unicorn. You have managed to be selfishly ordained in the blood of God. Like, that's amazing.
And I mean, the awesome thing about it is nobody has once even said, because the video came out about the Colorado meeting. I mean, come on, bro. Like, he does everything for a reason.
No, he didn't come out. He pointed to the dude that was doing it because that's the social media thing. Because he was like, our social media game is gonna be top notch. Like, no, that didn't look like it was an accident, bro. Deion Sanders is the greatest self-promote. Other than Floyd Mayweather, there might not be anybody that's a better promoter of self than Deion Sanders.
Yeah, we got a message from Ike. What's going on, Ike, man? He says if he wins the Pac-12 in 3 years, no one will be able to call
You
it.
right. He gonna come out to Kanye West. Niggas can't tell me nothing now.
You know, and you know the funniest thing about all of this week, and then we'll move on to something else. When they introduced him in Colorado, did y'all see the press conference? Or
They
at least
introduced him
clips
as
of
Coach
it?
Prime.
His jersey said Coach Prime, and I was like, ain't this bitch here? Like they're like, hey, we gonna wrap ourselves in it too. Thank you. You know, because you know what?
It's a great hire for Colorado. It is the best hire in school history. Even if he doesn't do well, it's just gonna give attention.
Oh my God, so much attention. This will be crazy. The Pac-12 is gonna be watered down. All you gotta do is beat Oregon. You are right, Dre. All you gotta do is beat Oregon.
I mean, bro,
when is SC leaving? Are they leaving next year?
24.
Yeah, 24. They'll be gone.
Okay.
So 2 years. He'll get 2 years. He'll get a year with them. You know,
bro. Name the top Colorado players ever.
I feel like I should know.
The wideout that y'all had. What's his name?
I feel like who Washington had?
No, yeah, Washington. He had a catch against. I think that catch made his whole career, and y'all drafted him. I forgot his name.
I can name two.
It was a Hail Mary.
I can name Cordell Stewart.
I think one was a Heisman one. Rashawn Salaam. Didn't he go to Colorado?
There you go. That's it.
Rashawn Salaam. He was a Heisman
Yeah,
winner.
we did draft him.
No, y'all drafted a wideout. The wideout.
I don't remember the wideout, but
Cordell Stewart and Rashawn Salaam.
That's another one.
Yeah,
because they all played together. All three. It's Salaam, Stewart, and the dude I can't think of his name right now. They all played together.
Yeah. So
in the 1 year they won a national championship, got them to the NFL.
Yeah.
And the only one that panned out really for real was Cordell Stewart.
And he didn't really pan out. He just lasted longer because he was a quarterback.
I don't know, man. So, when you get a Nike deal, you get a Nike deal and a nickname, and we still talking about you 25 years later as relevant.
And you're on
just
Housewives.
did. We just did.
Housewives. You're on Housewives. So
he is.
Yeah.
Man, I don't watch that shit. Like
I didn't think that you did, but I'm just letting you know he's got a girl, one of the ladies on the show. I think like this was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer.
So she rich and he just up there.
No, he's got a little bit of money.
I mean, I didn't think it was broke, but Housewives, man, use those.
Yeah,
people.
like I said, he had a Nike deal. You know what I'm saying? So he got a little money.
All right. So that dude came way too close to winning Georgia, man. I don't understand. Freaking oh God. Herschel Walker. He came too damn close, man. Like, really? What are we doing? What are they doing there, man?
The only thing that this did, and actually,
it wasn't too long ago where that state was completely red. So, like, why are you that shocked?
Well, see, that's the thing that I was trying to tell my wife when Biden won, and I was sitting there looking at it as it happened. Because of redlining, ironically enough, if you don't get the black vote, you're not going to really win, because the concentrated black and brown in the cities are worth more than 100 people, 100-person population town out in the middle of BFE. Yeah. Always. And like when I saw the map, I was like, wow. But then I was like, wait a minute.
It's like Atlanta.
And it was like that's all he needed.
It was Atlanta and Savannah, just because of West Savannah.
Yeah. But I think, I'm gonna tell you, man, the most
Hold on. We forgot about Macon.
Macon
is blue. Okay.
Yeah. So the most entertaining thing about watching that, I'm not gonna lie, they had the Georgia lieutenant governor up there, and his face was like, you couldn't tell if he was saying, I fucking hate Herschel Walker and we're gonna lose because of him, or what, man. But he was hating life, and every time he spoke, it looked like he was trying to be calm, to be like, Herschel Walker is the worst. Like he said it a couple times. He's the worst candidate ever.
Hey, can I turn it around though and stop being super negative? Can I be positive for a second and say Herschel Walker did one of the coolest things afterwards though in his
concession speech?
Concession speech.
Yeah.
He was like, trust your politicians, pray for your politicians, like, believe in your government. And then later on, he was interviewed and he was like, man, it's time for Donald Trump to go.
Yeah.
Like, and this is somebody who Donald Trump co-signed on. So, like, as much as we're gonna say he was like the worst candidate ever, like, at least he showed like so much grace and humility exiting out.
Wow. That's an interesting comment.
Honestly, if he didn't say some of the stupid things he said, and if he didn't have like 28 baby mamas that he had paid for abortions on the side that people found out about, and if maybe his son didn't come out and be like, hey,
you're the worst father ever.
Yeah, like if some of those things don't happen, he probably does win.
If one of those things don't happen, he probably does win.
I think I don't know. I think if
and
don't
give those white people credit, AG. Don't give them credit, because I feel like you're about to say, nah, I don't think it would have mattered. Herschel Walker wouldn't have won.
No.
Okay, I'm about to say, don't do it. Don't do it.
I just feel like it. I guess for me, it shouldn't have never came to that, but it shows me who we are as a country that it did.
Exactly.
I think it's interesting how the last 2 election cycles, Georgia has had runoffs, and if I'm correct, tell me if I'm wrong, Moby. If I'm correct, the government pays for the runoff, correct?
I believe so, because that's a state mandate.
That is a lot of fucking money, man.
Hey, man, can we say that Warnock is like the dude that can't be beaten extra?
Oh, yeah. Overtime, man.
Overtime is that dude. Yo, but it's not even just him, man. Stacey Abrams can't win her own elections, but goddamn it, she can help you win yours.
Yeah. She gets you
like she's the black chick on Scandal now, man. She's like, hey, I can win your goddamn. She's Olivia Pope. I can win your damn election by hook or crook.
This is what I want to ask all of y'all.
Uh-huh.
Warnock can win, but Abrams can't beat the governor. So what is that actually saying? Because she still has the same city centers that helped Warnock win. So what's the deal with that? I never really truly understood it.
Maybe, and as 3 guys up here, maybe we're blind to it. Maybe that's just a little bit of misogyny. Maybe some of these same people, same males that have no problem voting for Warnock ain't about to vote for Stacey Abrams.
Okay. So just her being a woman is just too much.
Maybe. And look, I have no evidence to prove that.
I know Lauren will agree to that, because she's been teaching me about a whole lot of things.
Once again, Alex, I have no evidence. Also, sometimes it might be easier, because some people are better at running a campaign for other people, because she's a ground level troop. Like, she rallies people. And it's probably a lot easier to rally people for somebody else than for yourself.
But is she really well funded? That's the other question I have.
Yes. When she hits the ground, people come out.
But I think
and she's got the hip hop community backing her. Like, Killer Mike be out there.
Yeah. I know. What I'm saying to you is, she well funded.
Well,
I didn't ask you if she had human resources. I asked you if she had money.
Well, that kind of goes hand in hand, because she raises a lot of money. But it's weird. It's like it's probably easier for her to raise money for other people.
That might be a weakness
than herself.
That might be a weakness. I can't believe that this woman, I mean, as much as I admire her, I still can't believe that she hasn't beaten the dude that she's got to run against. It'd be different if she was running against somebody like her, but she's not. She's running against an idiot. Well, and I'm sitting here going, how does that happen? Twice.
I mean, here's the thing, right? We could call him an idiot, but clearly he understands what his base is. And see, I would say, like, if you look at the Warnock numbers and you look at her numbers, because they talked about it on CNN, and it's like, I think the misogynistic part is probably part of it. It's probably most of it, actually.
He also does get some of the Bible thumpers too, because Reverend.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, right? It's like when he won the red parts of Georgia, Stacey Abrams was getting killed like 80% to 20%. Whereas when Warnock was winning, when Warnock was losing, he was losing like 60 to 40. I think part of it, as Moby just said, I think part of it was misogynistic, but I also think the part of it was the Bible people, because you know what? You can say what you want. Like, they're gonna be I think the whole him being a pastor helps him.
Look at us being all BNN, Black News Network.
I know, right?
Trying to do our politics thing. Like, we analyzing things with no statistics, no facts, all opinions straight off the hip.
But I do think it's interesting that Georgia has that runoff rule. I'm really shocked, and maybe they won't change it. But
hey, man, states get to run. States get to dictate how their elections are run.
Well, no, I understand that, but man, that's got to be expensive as hell.
Man,
well, I'm sure they can afford it. It's okay.
Hey, they money.
I mean, that's cool. All right. So, and the last thing, real quick, we'll get into. Then we'll move on. Brittany Griner's home.
She is
great.
I guess the question, the biggest issue is, some people are just like, well, we couldn't get the other guy home.
Yes, because the other guy's not famous. End of story. We don't need to talk about it no more.
Well, no, that's part of it. But the other part that we have to talk about is the fact that Russia ain't trying to give him up.
Well, yeah, because he's also ex-military.
He's also discharged military. Once again, dishonorable discharge.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's easier for them to hold the whole, this dude was a spy. And honestly, at the end of the day, like,
he probably was.
I don't even know if he was. I'm just saying, like, he ain't famous. So we ain't thumping. We ain't about to start no war over some non-famous ex-military dude. Like we always love saying, stand up for the national anthem. It's for the troops. Thank you for your service. But at the end of the day, we'd be like, hey man, that nigga knew what he was signing up for. Like, I'm not like that. But what I'm saying is, like, that's, as a society, that's what we do. Look how we treat disabled veterans and stuff, man. Like,
look how we treat teachers.
Well, but here's the thing, right? Trump tried to get him out. Same thing. Hey, man, I'll give you this dude for that dude. They're like, no. Hold on for a second.
But see, the thing that irritates me about that is that's not part of the mainstream narrative.
Nope.
White America won't say what you just said.
Yeah, but that's what happened.
I realize that, but they won't say it.
And that's the crazy part, right? Because they think he's a spy. So they think he's more valuable to them. And then I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time I heard about this dude being stuck over there.
Because he ain't famous. Like I said.
But that too.
In the story.
But then he sent a message to Biden, and I almost felt like he was sending a message to Biden, basically saying, because he was like, hey, stuff's getting bad over here, yada yada. He was pretty much saying, you need to get me out of here, or I'm gonna start talking. That's what it sounded like to me. But I'm just a dude who runs a podcast. But that's what it sounded like to me. So
to me, it sounded like he knew that once we gave up Brittany, he's like, well, I ain't never going home now, because Brittany was his best way home.
Yeah, and like the other thing was his family was a little too cool about like him not coming home.
Nah, they ain't too cool about it. He's been gone for so long. They know the deal. They know the deal.
Yeah, but.
And honestly, because they said his family was notified before the public was notified of Brittany, and they probably was real. They're probably like, "Look, man,
he's signed this or whatever.
We trying, but I mean, that nigga ain't coming home till they want him to come home."
All right. Well, glad she's back. All that stuff. So we'll keep it pushing. AG, rise and shine. What's up?
Collateral damage. I talk to my wife about this quite often, and it's starting to happen. So what I mean by collateral damage, obviously everybody knows what collateral damage is. If I want to shoot somebody, but then I use a gun too big, and then 20 other people get killed, and I'm only trying to shoot one person. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's collateral damage. All the people that died that weren't supposed to die. So what's happening with why I said that was there's a school here, a local school. Y'all might know it, Maury. Mm-hmm. And the school itself as a structure is having a lot of issues. The trick is, well, this is not the trick. What they're proposing is to just tear the school down, because I don't think that the school can handle upgrades anymore at this point, because it's a historical building.
It's old.
Yeah, really old. So
and they just lost the state football championship.
Yeah, they did.
But
so what I'm saying is, my first question to Lauren was, whoa, wait a minute. How are you going to tear down Maury, and Maury services some very wealthy people? And I'm like, this is what I was trying to say to her when the powers that be per state started instituting Jim Crow Part 2, where they're so afraid that they will lose elections that they're willing to instantiate not labor laws, but voting laws that not only hurt black and brown, but hurt rural white. So sacrifices have to be made. So only thing I'm saying to you is, I'm not really saying it to us as much as I'm saying it to mainstream America, is don't think that the powers that be that look like you won't put you out to pasture or won't put you out back if they think that you need to serve the greater good. So you are here with us. You don't look like us, but the same thing is happening to you. So like I said, if something big enough happens or there's so much fear, they will sacrifice you for their idea of the greater good. So that was what's on my mind as to Rise and Shine. And I'm thinking it's going to happen more and more, because you're talking about a percentage of the country that used to be 90 40 years ago that is now in the mid 60s. So as that number decreases and decreases over time, you're going to have to be much more surgical. But when you're talking about millions of people, you can't be surgical. You're just going to have to blow it all up. So good luck to mainstream America in the coming years, because this problem's not going away. So that's Rise and Shine.
Awesome. I mean, because remember, a lot of states tried to do that for the election. There's a lot of redistricting going on in a lot of states, and it backfired so bad.
Well, it didn't backfire. It didn't backfire here, but it did backfire in a lot of places. But see, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, Hampton is not all black. Newport News is not all black. It has a significant portion of it that's black, but it's not all black, not even by a majority, not even close. However, they were so scared that they gerrymandered it. And that, I'm sure there were some other things, but as far as I'm concerned, the major reason why Loria lost is because of that gerrymandering. And they did it on purpose because they learned that from that behind whipping they took from the presidential election. Yeah. And so, and I told Lauren that too. I said, they're going to learn from this. You wait in 2 years, they're going to learn from this. And sure enough, because I was really excited to vote for that. And Lauren was like, we can't vote for that. I said, what you mean? They redistrict everything. Yeah. They redrew the lines. I was like, oh, that was cool. I hated it, but I respect the hustle, because that's what you have to do when you're actually a loser trying to win. So I'm just letting you know. This is not going away. This is going to get a lot worse, because like I said before, when you're 90% of the country, it's easier to do, or you don't have to do it at all. When you're almost half the country, but you have to do something that's sweeping, you can't be surgical when you're sweeping. You're going to destroy a lot of good to run away from to try to destroy the bad. So just letting you know, mainstream America, welcome to my club, because it's coming. And they will sacrifice you for the greater good. Just letting you know.
Yep. Yes, they will. Moby, what you got for us tonight?
All right, man. So this is going to be the weekend vent. I got a lot of stuff to vent about. And I know that's the theme with airing grievances, but this ain't got nothing to do with my grievances.
Yeah, we ain't got there yet.
This ain't got nothing to do with that, man. This is my weekend vent, man. I had an interesting weekend. So in one day, I, as a coach, suffered 2 losses in a championship game in the same day. Which, I mean, look, that doesn't really make me upset. I mean, it sucks because, we lost football championship, and then both of my daughters who play on the same basketball team that I coach, that apparently I'm the head coach of, and I didn't find out about that until yesterday. I didn't realize I was the head coach. But so we had a tournament, a preseason tournament, and we made it to the finals, and we lost to the finals. We lost in the finals mainly because the semifinal game and the final game, there was only 6 minutes in between games for us, while the other team had sat for 2 hours. So it didn't seem like it was structured very well, and my team was gassed. And when I say they were gassed, they were gassed.
That semifinal game was rough.
Yeah, I mean, we lost by maybe 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6. It was a pretty close game. And I mean, honestly, I feel like if we actually have practice with the girls, because I mean, I've been to like half a practice total. So like I'm literally in the game trying to learn girls' names. And you know, I didn't want to play Cadence because I'm like, Cadence just played a football game in which she only came out the game for 2 plays. And in the first game, I barely played her. And then by the second game, I was like, well, I only got 7 girls here. And one of them got hurt. So, no, 8. And one of them got hurt. So I had to get Cadence out there, who was still in football mode. And I realized Cadence got a lot of dog in her. She got a lot of dog in her, man. You put her on the court and she's knocking people going to fall down. She's getting rebounds, but she added a new layer to her basketball game that I didn't know existed. And I was pleasantly surprised. Cadence was out there dropping dimes, had like 3 assists in the game, which is new to me because the last couple of years, Cadence is about Cadence getting her shots. So it was really
was she Cadence Prime?
Yeah, but basically she thinks it's the Will Smith offense, the pass the ball to Will. Like when Cadence get the ball, usually she's jacking. But like the first pass she made, it was assist. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even see that girl. How did you? And I was like, okay, so Cadence got a new dimension in her game. Proud of her. But yeah, she was gassed too. So, you know, so as a coach, I lost 2 championship games. That's not what I'm venting about. What I'm venting about is in these 2 championship games, it let me know the difference between, how do I put this? Our people and their people. So in both games, in a championship game, we played schools that were a lot more adverse to diversity than we were. And it shows with parent support. You know, I'm looking at the football team and I'm looking at their sideline. They got the giant flags. They got all types of merch and stuff. And we out here in basically RIP t-shirts, you know, free Pookie. Not okay, it wasn't that bad, but
free Pookie.
Well,
oh shit.
but like it just makes me wonder, like, yo,
he ain't wrong though.
Like, I don't understand why there's such a discrepancy. And I get it. There's a discrepancy in money. And I ain't mad at nobody for not being as affluent as the other school. But like basic support. So we lost the football game. Like I said, I didn't really go into details. We had some uncharacteristic things happen. Our running back, who's been beast mode all year, fumbled the ball twice. Hadn't fumbled the ball all year. Had a running play where he was down, but the ball popped out and they said he fumbled it. He was down. But then 2 plays later, he got an interception. And because he had fumbled before, he was trying to do too much. Like he's stiff arming people, throwing people down. He fumbles again. So in like 2 plays, this dude who's been our rock all year just, you know, made 2 bad plays. We had a whole bunch of players who, you know, really invested. They came up a little lame. I would dare say some of them quit. Some of them showed they didn't have, you know, a little bit of as much heart as I thought some of them had. But I get it. The moment was too big. So then after the game happens, and this is where I see the difference in parenting. Now I saw the game before us in which the team that lost, Dinwiddie, Jacobs beat them. Jacobs' first championship ever in school history. Dinwiddie loses. I see the kids walking off the field, parents uplifting. Hey, great job, coaches. Great job, players. Keep your head up. You got nothing to be sad about. And I'm thinking, man, this is so good to see. We lose? Nah, we got a whole different breed of bitch out there. So some lady who I hadn't seen all year, so I didn't even know whose kid she was there for at one point in time. We over there getting our second place medals and everything. And the official comes and lets the team know, hey, y'all had a great season. I enjoyed watching y'all. It's been over 20 years since y'all been in the championship game. You know what I'm saying? Like, great job. And she's in the background yelling, the kids didn't lose this game. The coaches did. These coaches don't make no sense. Now, first of all, as a coach, I always feel like when our team loses, it's my fault. Because I feel like that's what most coaches think. We feel like, hey, if we did this, if I'd have put him in this position, cool. But we got a whole bunch of 10 and 11-year-olds crying, just bawling. And we got this ignorant ass bitch yelling. And one of the coaches, I saw it in his face. He wanted to respond. And this is where I knew I had some maturity that had happened in my life. Because that happened to me 10 years ago. I probably would have been like, man, who the fuck is your kid? Like, why? Who are you? I ain't seen you all year. But I didn't. I looked at him and he was I said, hey, man, let's not even respond to this bullshit, man. It's about the kids, man. We're gonna go opposite prime on this. It's about the kids.
Opposite prime.
And he looks at me, he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I don't even know who that is. So it's still going on. Now some of the parents come defending the coaches. Now, don't get me wrong. Did we have a couple coaches that, probably didn't have their best performance as coaches? Yeah. Did we have a coach that kind of acted like a little bit of a bitch? My opinion, yes. Once again, time and place. You got your 10 and 11-year-old crying here. We don't need that right now. So some of the parents came defending, my wife included. I'm just like, hey, let it go. Don't even matter. The growth that happened in me. So then I felt like it was a petty move, but then I realized later on it wasn't petty. As she was still yelling, I finally realized what kid she was there for. I don't know who she is to this kid, nothing. He's one of the heart and souls of our team. Had the game-winning touchdown for us. Well, the touchdown that put us in overtime last week. Hardest working kid on the team, man. One of the hardest working kids on the team. She's still yelling at. I walked straight past her and started talking to him. Basically was like, hey, I love you, man. Proud of you, man. Like, you ain't got nothing to be sad about. I can't wait to see what you're going to do on and off the field the rest of your life. Because, I mean, he's not only is he a good football player, he's a great-ass kid.
Okay.
Great-ass kid. I hug him. I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to follow you forever, whether you here or not. Like, if you in the area, I'm going to try to follow you forever. And she's still yelling the same shit. And she's like, yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. And I'm like, thinking to myself, bitch, I'm not even giving you attention. Like, who are you even yelling? Like, who are you putting on this show for? So that's part of my weekend event. But I just want to know, man, why it's always got to be us, man? Like, how come we couldn't have the same parent reaction that I saw the Miners have when all the parents were like, hey, great job, coaches. Hey, because, I mean, our kids play hard. We did something that ain't been done in 20 plus years.
You lost by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and we really lost by 1.
Yeah.
And our best player had probably the worst fucking game of his career. He's already bawling about it. And, now it's our fault. Because I'm like, hey, when we were winning, won't nobody like, hey, the coaches won that game, not the players. Because a lot of these kids were on the team last year and they were stinking the shit up. So, I mean,
yeah,
I get it. And then I'm thinking, hey, if your kid fucking up at school, I'm not going to be like, hey, that ain't the kid's fault. That's your bitch ass fault for not, home training your child better. Like, so, I mean, like,
man.
I just want us to do better, man. And like, it really made me mad because it stole.
Wow.
I mean, look, it's
on the board. W Brown 81.
Because it stole the joy out of it, man. Because like, I'm not saying there was joy in us losing, but what I'm saying is, man, like I've been saying all year when y'all talk about the team, hey man, not only are we super talented, man, we got like some of the best like kids. Like I'm just like, yo, these dudes are awesome. Like they're just good human beings. Like we don't have no discipline problems. Like we don't have none of that. And then this stunt double from Color Purple looking ass bitch gonna come out here yelling.
Wait a minute. Stunt double from Color Purple.
Yeah. And look, man,
first of all, who is she stunt doubling for?
Oprah Winfrey.
I mean, pick one.
Wow.
Danny Glover. Like, I mean,
Danny Glover.
And look, man, look, I don't mean to attack the female. That's not cool of me. But that's how I felt in the moment. Like I would never. Once again, why I didn't respond to her, because I'm just like, hey man, I ain't here for you. Like I've said it many times. I love coaching kids. Fuck the parents. I'll say that in front of parents. Like I don't care. That's how I feel. Not all of them, just that bitch. And all the ones like her. So yeah, man, that's my weekend event, man. That's we gotta do better, man.
Oh my God.
He takes these sobering moments and just says, I can't, man.
We just gotta do better, man.
Like I'm 100% with you.
I couldn't even like really fully console my own daughter who's crying and sad because I mean, don't nobody want to win more than her.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, but you know, we got kids balling. You got this chick yelling for attention. Like, I so bad wanted to be like, would you shut all the fucks up? Or I was like, hey, does somebody have a syphilis full penis to put in her mouth?
The penis has to have syphilis, man.
Gonorrhea, whichever, you know, you pick your, STD of choice.
Gonorrhea, whatever.
I mean, herpes, because that shit don't go away. Like,
herpes simplex 7, baby. The gift that keeps on giving. Oh my God.
But yeah, man, I'm sorry. That's the weekend event.
Nah, man, that's funny as shit, man.
It's not meant to be funny. Like, I was really upset about it. Like,
it won't meant to be funny. That doesn't mean it wasn't. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, when you start talking about the stunt devil color purple, dude. I mean, come on, man.
Full disclosure, I heard that in like a YouTube skit, and I was just like,
that's still funny shit.
I gotta use it.
It doesn't matter.
I gotta use it.
Man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So it's time for us to celebrate our festivals for the best of us. And of course, what we do every year, because we don't do feats of strength, because
did we do it last year? You can't say we do it every year if we didn't do it last year.
Hey man, be quiet. I was damn it, man.
Why are you trying to ruin his?
I know, right?
All right, man. My bad.
Damn, I can't hide nothing.
My bad.
See, that's
do your thing, Prime. Do your thing, Prime.
Wow, let's go.
Hey, you call me what you want, man. I mean, see, that's a grievance right there, man. We can't. So yeah, man. 5 grievances of the year. We'll start with AG. AG,
you know, I struggle to have grievances because my life is good, but I did come up with. Did you just cut all of us off, man?
I hit the wrong button.
I don't even come for you, man. That's what you're gonna do.
I'm sorry.
This dude said we gotta put the camera on the person that matters.
That's right.
Get my light wig off the screen. I gotta get the help off the screen.
Wow. The help.
Oh, y'all wrong. My bad. Go ahead.
Like on Blind Side where they took the picture with the black guy. Like somebody called, like, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Did you know there's a colored boy in your picture? Somebody like hit Ruben up. Hey, I'm just gonna say it. Did you know you had two niggas on the screen with you? And Ruben's like, oh my bad. I got you.
You're so wrong.
We got limits.
We got limits.
Y'all so wrong. All right, go ahead, man.
Well, like I said before, I struggle to have grievances because I got a pretty good life. But the first grievance I have are doctors that gaslight their patients. Do your fucking job. That's all I'm saying. Do your job. You've gone to school for X amount of years. You've done this, you've done that. Listen to what your patients have to say. Drill down, ask a colleague. Get a good picture of what could happen. Just because it's, your treatment isn't working has nothing to do with the fact that there could be something else wrong. It has nothing to do with you. But if you talk to somebody else, it could help you because you're dealing with somebody's life. Do your fucking job. Number 2, spreading false narratives. I thought maybe I could deal with it a little better because it's been going on so long, but I cannot. People out here saying stuff that's like flat not true, and they're saying it as a truth. Come on, y'all. Everybody has access to facts. Get the facts first and then say what you got to say. But you out here just spewing out stuff that's not even true, and then you have people that want to believe certain things or just a little bit feeble-minded will believe anything that you say because you're saying it. Stop. I do know that's not going to happen, but that's a grievance. Tesla stock. I gotta say, like, my man bought Twitter, ruined it, and with his behavior, he is devaluing my wife's portfolio by the moment. Please shut the fuck up. Please. You're killing me. When I bought Tesla at a split, it was $300 a share. Gone up to $1,100 and back down below the $300, well below the $300 I bought. Come on, man. You're killing me because your behavior can't outlast the value of your stock because people don't really understand the stock market and every other financial institution that lives and breathes organically is emotional. If you make people feel insecure, it's going to show.
Hey, look at GameStop.
Exactly. So again, please stop. Food prices, I'm going to buy the food because I like to eat. But when I can tell, because I just pick stuff out and I don't care. But when I look at the price and go, ooh, do I really need this? Come on, y'all. Because some of this isn't inflation. And it's fun to say because most people hate Joe Biden. See, this is Joe's fault. A lot of this is corporate greed because they're riding the coattails of people aimlessly hating a dude that ain't do nothing to you. So food prices, working my nerves a little bit. And the last thing is the power to make your own biscuits is the worst thing ever. Because see, now I don't have to go out to McDonald's and I can do it anytime I get ready. And the more I do it, the better they taste. It's the stupidest thing ever. I hate my life, man.
Yo.
The power to make biscuits.
Y'all are laughing. But I was telling Lauren this, like my first batch, I didn't really understand what self-rising flour was. I didn't have any, but really all it is if you add some salt to the baking powder and the baking soda and the flour, then it'll self-rise. I just didn't add the salt. So my second batch was like, yo. And I thought to myself, I was like, fool, it's almost like you set off a bomb in your own crib.
Fuck McDonald's.
Telling you, bro, if it wasn't so it was not even really time intensive, but if it wasn't so labor intensive, I'd be in trouble. I promise you, if I had more time, I'd be 500 pounds. The power to make your own biscuits is just bad. So that's my 5 grievances, man.
I'm so weak on that, man. That shit's got me weak.
Just saying.
Making biscuits is a grievance. Wow.
No, Moco Cowboy, they're not better than churches, but when you can make your own biscuits and get close, doesn't matter.
What is this shit? What is that?
How are you? What is it? What did you say to her that pissed her off? Oh my goodness, bro. What in the world? Is your marriage falling apart right before her eyes?
I'm a loser, man. Sorry.
I'm a loser.
Hey, just know whatever it is, it's clearly my fault. Clearly my fault.
All right, Moby. 5 grievances, sir, for the year.
I mean, the fact that I just got called a bitch seems like a grievance. I mean, it don't even matter how you spell it. Like
that is funny.
W. Brown ain't the one. He be playing you, Ruben. What in the world, man? What is she trying to do?
Whoa, playing who? What?
I mean, I guess she's saying because I called you out about going single screen and everything. I mean, I gave you a hard time, and I apologize because apparently that hurt her the most. I just want to from the bottom of my heart sincerely apologize and tell you that in the future I will be more sensitive to her feelings about me playing you.
I just don't want no shrapnel, man. Keep that shit to yourselves.
I mean, bro, you ain't gonna get no residuals. There's no collateral damage over here. Like it's gonna be one target. It's gonna be a sniper. She's like 6 feet away from me. You see how I'm staring at her? Like, yeah, it's over with, man.
And she needs a sniper rifle? Damn, she must suck at Call of Duty then.
I mean, look, overkill, baby.
All right. So
they're not dead till they dead.
Wow. Wow.
All right, man. 5 grievances. What's up? Talk to us.
All right, man. So my first grievance is something I've talked about before. Like, I root for losers, man. And like, I don't understand how the Raiders can do so much to lose. Like, most of my adult life has been me like trying to figure out how in the fuck the Raiders are gonna lose this week. Like, and as a fan, part of being a fan is being a fanatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what it's like to be like a real fan of a team because, like, with the exception of like recent history Georgia, like, I don't really have any fanatic in me. Like, I realized that as a fan, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible fan because, like, I don't go into seasons with exuberance and hope. Like, I see other fans in the preseason, talking about, yeah, man, we picked up that player and we picked up Devontae Adams and everybody was like, oh yeah, Card Adams. And Ruben, what was I saying? Like, hey man, we'll see.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't like, even as a Braves fan, like, I always knew when I was a kid, I was like, hey man, we gonna get there. We just ain't gonna win. And then, like, part of me is like, maybe it's my fault. Like, maybe as a fan or anything that I'm involved with, I can only get close. Like, I lost 2 championship games as a coach in the same fucking day. Like, so apparently it's not that I root for losers. I cause teams to become losers. So that's my grievance, man. Like, bro, we lost to Baker Mayfield. This dude still had on like his Carolina Panthers undergarments and shit. And we made that dude look like Joe Namath in the fourth quarter, come out slinging dots. Like he was the second coming of Dan Marino. And I'm just looking at my phone at the scores. Like, I didn't even watch the game because I kept telling myself, hey man, we're on like a 3-game winning streak. We got the Rams. Everybody's like, oh, Baker's gonna start. And I was just like, yeah, man, we might have an outside chance of the playoffs. And as soon as I felt like that in my head, I was like, fuck, they're gonna mess it up. And like, honestly, I couldn't even watch the game. Like, I knew. I was just like, man, they gonna fuck it up. So yeah, man, I just root for losers, man. So as anybody who happens to share a team and fandom with me, other than Georgia, apparently Georgia just recruited so fucking well that they were able to overcome my terrible fandom. They just got enough people from like Georgia and internationally from Florida to just overcome any negative energy that I give a team. Wow. But what I will say for my next one, here's a grievance, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. Like, we still calling Florida a state? It's 2022, man. We still calling them a state? Like, bro, like, can we just get behind this and just say they're U.S. territory at best, man? Bro, like, Mr. King, does it even fucking matter? Like, sir, I'm not even trying to like tell your age or anything, but at least in your lifetime as a Raiders fan, you've experienced the joy of winning a championship. Like, the last time the Raiders won a Super Bowl, I think I was in my mom's stomach. So like, look, man, like, so basically the birth of me was the death of Raider Nation.
Oh shit.
All
right. What else you got, man?
Kanye West. Why does he still exist? and hold on. Before anybody says, I'm not advocating for Kanye's West death or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, why does he still exist as somebody that we talk about? Like honestly, he's kind of disappeared for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if he's disappeared or we've just had some other black people come and kind of do enough to get us to talk about them. Thank you, Kyrie. Thank you, Prime. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you.
But he's been around, but he's been wearing the mask with no eye sockets.
Okay.
Bruh, like,
does that count? Or
cool. Like, I hope he becomes an emoji that nobody uses anymore. Like, that's what I want Kanye West to be. Just an emoji that nobody uses anymore, or an emoji that people don't even understand what it means anymore.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that Kanye West is a grievance. Like,
Damn, he is a grievance.
yeah, he himself is a grievance of mine.
He's officially made him a noun. Oh shit! This is
he's
funny.
not wrong either.
It's just funny. How many you got left? 2?
No. Here, I had a grievance that I was gonna say, and it got kicked out because of something that happened like just 3 or 4 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
White people seasoning is a grievance of mine.
You mean like thereof?
Or just seasoning that don't make no fucking sense, AG.
What?
So I just was at Busch Gardens a couple hours ago, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go to the smokehouse, get my brisket, my chicken, smoking meat, hard to fuck it up. And they didn't. I see some macaroni and cheese there. I see the cheese melting on top. I actually see some black pepper on top of it. So I'm thinking, I see some black people in the back, and I'm thinking, hey man, maybe.
Maybe.
We got a possible shot here.
You out here giving chances, man.
I did, and not only that. Here's the worst part. I offered this poison to my wife. I was like, "Yo, I know you ain't want none. Here, the macaroni." She was like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want." I'm like, "Cool," because she ain't really gonna eat the meat there. But that's all right, cool. I put 1 forkful of this macaroni in my mouth, and I don't know if the devil came and stabbed my taste buds individually and then took a shit on them.
Individually?
Each taste bud in my mouth. Each taste bud.
Oh, God.
I couldn't even eat the rest of my food because this shit invaded my senses. I literally looked at my mom and said, I don't think I can eat macaroni ever again.
Oh man,
they had like 10 pounds of garlic pepper, not like garlic powder and like onion powder in fucking macaroni. And then I look at other white people eating it, and they're like eating it, and there's no pain and anguish on their face. And I'm just going, how? Like my daughter said, hey, they're eating the macaroni, and I'm like, why did you even point that out to me? Because now not only do I think maybe I'm the problem, but then I'm just like, no, apparently white people have different taste buds. And I always thought, AG, Ruben, I would have been okay if the macaroni was bland. I would have expected that. I'd been like, I gave him a shot. You know what I'm saying? But what the fuck that happened in that macaroni that threw up and died on my tongue ruined macaroni for me. Like, honestly, man, I don't know if I could. I got food poisoning when I was like 6 or 7 from a corn dog. I've never eaten a corn dog since. Never. I smell a corn dog, I almost vomit in my mouth. That's how I feel about macaroni right now.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me if your grandma or your mom made mac and cheese that wouldn't just like clear your palate?
I don't know, man.
So you're not talking about mac and cheese that was just bland. You're talking about mac and cheese that was bad.
Boy, my daughter put some in her mouth and she did the same thing. She just spit it out. I didn't even I chewed on it a little bit, and literally I grabbed napkins and a little bit of vomit and that yellowy acid shit came out of my throat into the napkin because I was like it was
Busch Gardens.
It was the most appalling shit that's ever happened to me. Honestly, I felt personally attacked by this little ass cup of macaroni.
How do you make rancid mac and cheese?
God.
And it had to become one of my grievances because I was just like, I'll never look at macaroni the same again. Like now, I'm gonna need 2 cosigns on macaroni, credit check. I'm gonna have to have video evidence that some old black lady or some lady with reputable cooking sense made the macaroni before I can even consider seeing it on the fucking table.
I
Your
mean,
mom's macaroni is good, though.
what do you have your family Christmas dinner? Is that next week or week after?
It's gonna be on Christmas, so it'll be at my grandma's house. Oh, and Keisha probably gonna make that thick ass macaroni that usually has like 17,000 pounds of cheese on it, and it's fucking the most amazing shit ever. But right now, I'm just gonna look at it and be like, nah, like I don't even trust
you.
You.
Gotta give it a chance. You
Nah,
can't.
I don't even
let it
trust
go,
you, man. Like, yo, I felt so deceived and heartbroken over this macaroni, man.
Were you betrayed? Man. Did they betray you?
They didn't just betray me. Because like I said, if it was bland, charges to the game.
But you said they were black people back there.
That's why I said deceived.
I mean, exactly.
Garlic powder and fucking macaroni.
Why does garlic belong in mac and cheese?
It don't.
That was the most disgusting thing that's ever been in my mouth. And I think when I was younger, my grandma accidentally gave me some bleach that I drank, and that pales. And I would drink bleach. I felt like drinking bleach after I put that macaroni in my mouth just to disinfect and kill whatever.
Disinfect. You had to disinfect your taste buds.
All right, Trump, calm down over there.
Look, man, that macaroni stole a piece of my soul, man. It stole a piece of my soul. And she's over here laughing. She was laughing when I first thought about it because she saw my reaction too. Have I ever had that reaction to anything food wise? Like, no, I've never ever been so appalled by any food in my life.
Appalled, betrayed, deceived.
Wow.
I wouldn't feed that macaroni to serial killers, like child molesters. I'd be like, no, man, this is extreme, man. Like, you don't do that to human beings, man. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Oh God. Wow.
Oh man.
Okay. Final grievance.
Okay.
And I ain't gonna hold you. It's my final grievance. And I didn't think it would get here, but it's here. I don't want to see any more black people on Fox News, man. And I know that sounds like so trivial, no. But it's just like, look, man, like at some point in time, man,
they're the worst people ever, man.
At some point in time, there has to be limits into the amount of cooning one can do before they actually are a fucking raccoon. Like at some point in time, your genealogy has to change by doing that high level of tap dancing for massa. Like it's and I shouldn't say all black people, because I think there's probably one or two black people that have popped on Fox News where I feel like they going up there to try to prove a point, but ain't nobody listening to them. But the other ones that feel like if they suck enough white penis that somebody might invite them to the table, fuck all of y'all, man. Like, look, I'm not mad at black Republicans. I've stated several times before, like, if you believe in the politics of Republicans, I agree with some of the political stances that Republicans have. I mean, sometimes I think it's from a place of naivete. Like, if it's like all things being equal, this is how it should be. But we know all things aren't equal, but they still generally have political policies that act like the American dream is the same thing for fucking everybody. But hey, I'm not mad at any black person for being like, hey, I believe in Republican views. But what I am saying, if you're one of those black people who feel like you have to ride with all Republicans, be like you some type of political blood, like you out here sue-wooing for politics.
Sue-wooing?
Yeah, man. Go find all the dicks and put them in your mouth at the same time.
Oh God.
And that's my last grievance, man.
Well, Moby, I'm gonna tell you, like I tell my wife, those black people will continue to propagate because
I know, man.
They have way too much value.
Look, man, I get it, man. Look, I get wanting to eat at the table where you feel like all the good food is. I get it. My dog does it every day. My dogs do it every day. I got food on a tray. They sit there. My one dog, Brownie, she's the Republican. She sits there nicely, as if like, hey, if I sit here and don't say shit and just act like everything is great, maybe give him a little tongue action, smile, because my dog actually smiles a little bit, maybe either he'll let me come to the table or he'll drop a scrap for me. At some point in time, Mr. Black Person Tap Dance for White People, why don't you just go cook your own fucking food instead of begging this white man for a scrap?
Truth.
Ooh.
That was good.
And I got to follow that. That's awesome.
You kind of do. Good luck to you.
All right.
You're a hater extraordinaire, man. This should be easy for you. Don't downplay your hate.
All right, so my first grievance of the year is we don't support one another when it's time to support one another. It always piss out of me. And we'll talk about Deion very briefly.
I'm about to say, but they'll come out and cape for Deion.
Damn straight.
Oh, Kyrie Irving. Oh, them niggas was out there.
Yeah, man. It's just like, but
Kanye West. Ooh, they flew down the sketches with him.
Yeah. Once again, we don't support one another when it's time to properly. Like, I understand cape for some people. Hey, man, how about you cape for that black kid in Florida who won a congressional seat at the age of like 22? He's the youngest person in Congress, and he's a Democrat, and he's black. Like that, you support that motherfucker. You don't support the foolishness of what Kanye West and Michael Irvin, that's motherfucker too. Kyrie Irving did. You don't support that dumb shit. So like, yeah, that's so dumb. But then it goes to my second one. We're not condemning the people we need to condemn. And I mean, bro, like,
because you're a hater if you do that.
I mean, hate all day. Like, I mean, are you kidding me? You're sitting here and like, yeah, Kyrie Irving. If you say one positive thing about the fuck Kyrie Irving said, we done. Like, I need you to think about that sentence you about to come out with. Same thing with Kanye West, punk ass. Like, I need you to think about this shit before you say it. It just kills me that we waste time in that. And it's the worst. It's the worst. Number 3. Yo, McDonald's, man. Stop feeding us these fucking lies and do as you gonna say. You said this year's the last year of that fucking McRib. Don't bring that shit back no more. Don't bring shit back in 2023.
They're bringing it back?
Fuck no. They're not supposed to. But every year they say they're not bringing that shit back. And somehow that processed piece of, I want to call it meat, but we know it's not meat, comes back every fucking year. It's the worst shit ever.
Bro, you might as well be out here thinking Deion Sanders really care about the kids. If you don't bring the McRib back, man.
Yo, I'm done with that shit, man. Stop killing people with that.
Well, they're killing people with everything they make. But
yeah, man. Nah, but that shit is instant death.
That's
man.
extra.
like, it's cool to kill people slowly, but with that shit, it's pretty much like.
Look, man, McDonald's has all this processed meat, and as they collect it through the years, they go, oh, shit, what we going to do with this excess? Let's press it together, put some onions on it, put it on a bun, and call it a McRib.
Nasty ass McRib.
So that's why the McRib's going to be back, because they're not going to waste this scrap meat.
I'm telling you, that's going to be a problem for me next year. But it's a problem every year, because they keep fucking bringing it back. Stop it. Hey, man. Stop. Number 4. Stop trying to convince us that some people are the leaders when they're not. Look, man, Herschel Walker couldn't lead shit into a toilet. Like,
I don't know, man. He acted like a leader in his concession speech.
Well, he probably didn't write that. So, like,
first of all, nobody wrote that. You heard the vernacular that was used, and nobody with a 6th grade education and grammar wrote that for Herschel Walker. That shit came from the heart, bro.
Yep, about 5th grade education came from the heart. I mean, but yo, man, like I'm telling you, and I'm gonna go back briefly to it. Yo, just looking at that dude's face, man. Every time they asked him they talked about it. I mean, he was there for that reason, man. On CNN, he just looked like he wanted people to kill him every fucking time he had to talk about it. He just looked, oh my God, he looked like, why did I sign up for this bullshit? This is punishment.
And he had Van Jones giving somebody the side eye, and that nigga don't ever give nobody the side. Like he is the ultimate. I ain't gonna shit on no Republican Democrat. Somebody started talking about Herschel. He was like,
bro.
His head tilted down. I was like, oh shit! I ain't never seen the top of Van Jones' head before.
Man, I'm telling you, I feel like if him and Herschel were in a room by himself and he could fight, he would do his best to kick Herschel Walker's ass. Because I think he took it personal that this motherfucker was running for anything in politics with an R beside his name. He took that shit personal, and he's just like, worst candidate ever. I was just like, damn, bro. Like,
and that's saying something, being that like Trump was a candidate.
Yeah, he was the lieutenant governor of Georgia, and he was just like, this is the worst candidate ever. I felt like he wanted to apologize to like everybody, but then when you saw, him get 48% of the vote, it's like, what the fuck? I really felt like he wanted to look at the camera and be like, Georgia, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like I felt like he wanted to say that, man, because I'm telling you, every time they talked to him about him, it was like gritting his teeth. It was the worst. Like he probably would have. I think if he
did you
thought
think
about
he
that
wanted
again,
to say this nigga here? Did you think he wanted to just start saying this nigga here?
I mean, but here's the thing, right? If he had said that, everybody up there would agree with him.
I think we'd have gave him a pass. But like,
yeah, we gotta.
You get that one. You get that one.
I almost feel like CNN invited him up there just to laugh. Like he was literally comic relief, man, for like 3 hours. And all he could talk about how fucking terrible Herschel Walker was. It was, and then there was a time when he got the lead. I know he rolled his eyes a couple times, bro. You talking about fucking entertainment? That was entertainment. But the last thing is, man, man, I need for people out here to stop using the term mental health for a lack of common sense or just being dumb. Because look, man, it's okay.
Stupidity is a mental health problem.
Yeah, I mean, like, if stupidity is a mental health problem, then we just
people got it.
Yeah,
A lot of people got it.
Because I don't know how you cure stupidity, but like, come on, man, we just can't be saying people out here got mental health when they go do something crazy. I mean, it's just
sure we
what it is.
can.
I mean,
sure we can.
You can
as long as they're white.
I mean,
as long as they're white.
It doesn't even matter what color, because both colors use it now, and it's like,
yeah, we use it to try to defend black people. White people use it just cause. and we use it. I'm just saying we use it out in public. We use it out in public, like we hear some white people talking, hey man, mental health is a real thing. But then when we be in circles with all black people, like, nah, that nigga just fucking crazy.
Yeah,
fuck that guy.
Look, man, look, and I'm not gonna bring up anything specific, but we all know the difference between, that dude may have some mental problems. Nah, that dude is fucked up. He dumb as hell. He's stupid. Like we all know the difference, man. And we gotta stop being ignorant to that.
You're right, because we trivialize it. Like we don't like to simplify things and being like that nigga crazy, but sometimes
that nigga crazy.
They're crazy.
It's just what it is, man.
It don't matter what you diagnose that. That nigga crazy.
Right? For you to say that right now, and for me to have listened to old shows, how you would correct us and reprimand us about that.
Once again,
ironic, man. I'm like,
because
what?
I had a moment just there where I acted like we was the only ones in the room. Because like I said, out in public, we got to be like, nah, man, mental health is a thing for us too. But like, if this podcast went on and we was just talking about some of these dudes, like, all right, if some black dude rolled up in the school and killed a whole bunch of people randomly and shot himself, we might up on air be like, hey, mental health is a real thing. If it was just us talking, we'd be like, man, they're crazy. Like, Fuck wrong with him, like, bro, like, nah, fuck the mental health thing. That nigga forever. Fuck counseling. That nigga don't need no hug. That nigga need a gun. And a bullet in his head. That's what he.
But yeah, man, we just gotta on 2023, man. We just gotta be real with that, man. Because I'm sick of everything being, because everything ain't mental health, man. It's just not.
Some things are just choices.
Yeah.
Some things are just choices.
You know, you make a bad choice. I mean, you go up and shoot a whole bunch of people and then kill yourself. I mean, nah, that ain't really mental health, man. I made a choice to do this shit today, and that's what it is. Like, I mean, we gotta call it for what it is, man. And that's how we heal from this shit. We heal from that because.
Did you really just go to that's how we?
That's right. Because that's the coolest thing when you're at the family, you're at a family gathering or whatever, and you hear that. I don't want to call them the elders, but parents and uncles and stuff be talking. They be talking that real shit, and
And don't nobody say mental health.
Nope.
Once again, you just proved my point. Don't nobody say mental health.
Not at all. And I mean, we got.
So if nobody be like, Uncle Terry, he's bipolar. Don't know.
Or like, I mean, you've seen it, man. And they use certain terms that what that shit mean when it came out, and it's just like, I mean,
he ain't right. He ain't right. Everybody know what that term means. He ain't right.
Yeah. So I mean,
he ain't all there.
I mean, that's the thing, man. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like the world is like mental health. Nah, that's just some dumbass shit. Like, we gotta call it. At least we gotta call it for what it is, man. I mean, if somebody can just call it mental health, but they just did some dumbass shit. I mean, it's what it is, bro. And I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful, but had we not had COVID, we would not be talking about mental health at all. Because we didn't start talking about that shit till COVID. Because people apparently had mental health. How come nobody out there working? Because they got mental health. I mean, and no, I have no idea how R. Kelly made an album in jail. But he won't in jail. That dude was in there in Martha Stewart jail. So, it'd be.
My response is, what else he got to do?
Well, I mean, I assume he recorded it.
I bet R. Kelly up in there cooking up some heat right now. I told Wayne, I said, man, if I was R. Kelly, I would get a pseudonym. You know what I'm saying? I would just start writing music for other people as some random pseudonym, create some random LLC, send music to artists, and then like 2 or 3 later be like, gotcha, bitch. That was me. All that stuff you've been bumping for the last 2 years. That was me. You gonna stop playing it now?
Oh man. But yeah, so that's my grievances, and I appreciate everybody sharing their grievances and stuff like that. Very quickly, AG, what's on your mind?
It's the Christmas season. We got one more show that we're actually going to be on. Just want to wish everybody happy holidays. Be safe out there. Eat till you go to sleep. Watch a lot of football or whatever you do. See you next year.
All right, Mo B.
Don't eat macaroni and cheese at Busch Gardens. Don't do it to yourself. Like, honestly, there's nothing else on my mind. I can't. After that, like, I'm pretty much brain dead as far as anything else goes. Like,
well, at least you didn't finish eating it because you could have got the bubble guts.
Bro, I didn't even swallow it. Like, it just.
God.
As soon as it hit, I was just like, nah, bro.
It just ruined his taste buds.
Yeah, it destroyed him, man.
I mean, garlic.
Like, I really didn't eat all my food. I gave some food. I was like, man, I can't do it.
Then what? No homo.
No homo. Why did she say no homo?
Because I'm gonna let Moby talk about that.
Because I didn't swallow it.
Wow. That was good. That was good. That was
you got
good.
me. My mouth was open and everything.
Oh God. So yeah, like AG said, we have one show next week. I will not be on that show, so you have a special Moby and AG show to close you out for the year. So I
ain't gonna talk about you too bad.
I mean, I know you.
We're gonna talk about it really bad.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, you do.
I really don't. If I cared, this show would be operating right now.
Yeah, right.
But
so if you don't get that episode, that means Ruben heard it and was like, hell no. I ain't about to post these dudes hating on me for an hour and a half.
Yeah, funny. So yeah, but we not, as AG mentioned, we're not gonna leave you empty for the holidays. We're gonna have a best of for the holidays. We're gonna have some other things. So my advice to you is to go to wherever you get your podcasts and you download and you become and you subscribe to it, because all this stuff will be on the podcast for the rest of the year. We will be back on the 8th of January at this point in time. That could change, but right now we're looking at the 8th of January. But yeah, we got some stuff coming for the holidays. We got a best of.
We're gonna get a best of Hey Ladies. That's
I mean, it's gonna be a hodgepodge.
I need a best of Hey Ladies, and I need us in 2023 to do a better job of bringing up Tyler Perry issues so we can get AG at his peak. At his peak veracity about issues. We need to find more Tyler Perry issues, because that's the heat we need.
Why do you want to take me back to that place, man?
Because it was fire. It was probably 20 of the greatest minutes this podcast has ever seen.
For AG, definitely. That joke is
hilarious. No. Point blank, period. That was some of the, because it was so unexpected.
Yeah.
Like we weren't ready for it.
Yeah, but we've done a lot more that we weren't ready for. Lord knows,
man. Like that did it for me.
I was like a dark place.
I never knew he had that passion about that.
Dude, you just don't understand.
So, like I said, definitely subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast. Next week, our last show of the season of the year. So that's gonna be awesome. And hey, if I don't talk to you before, I want everybody to have a happy holiday and all that beautiful stuff. No, Dre Favier will not play the part of Ruben. So there's some things that won't change. That's one of them. And all that beautiful stuff. So once again, thank you to everybody for listening to the podcast today. Thank you to AG and Mo B for being on the podcast with me and making the podcast as awesome as it is. Thank you for all the guest stars that we had this past year. We're going to start 2023 great. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. We got some works in the plans and plans in the works and whatever. I'm just spewing out words. But once again, tell a friend, tell an enemy, just tell somebody about us. Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, look, I appreciate everyone. Have a happy holidays. Peace, love, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW podcast, at Nugman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Nugman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of